Trump's tariffs, right? Trump has done this tariff situation that has caused the world to go crazy, right? There's basically an all out damn near tariff war happening around the world because of the Trump tariffs that he promised he was going to do, right? And a lot of his diehard supporters were championing for during his running for president. They were saying, yes, we need the tariffs. Trump's going to do the tariffs. Like, they would ask people in the street, what's one reason you voted for Trump? One of the main reasons they would say, tariffs. The tariffs idea is a genius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the tariffs are in place. The stock market's going down, right? We have actual multimillionaires going online complaining about it. Dave Portnoy said that today he lost like 10% of his net worth, like $20+ million he lost, right? He's complaining about it. Elon Musk, his sidekick, Elon Musk himself said that he wants Donald Trump, the president, to move towards no tariffs. He doesn't like the tariff situation, right? Even streamers are being affected. Aiden Ross said he lost what? Like $10 million already in a day, right? That got affected. This is making
people don't look into it, man.
Yeah, this is making rich people be pissed the fuck off. And when you piss off rich people, you know what I'm saying, things start to happen and things start to change, right? Countries are obviously responding, right? Because he placed a tariff tax on Canada, on Mexico, and on China.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But no, it was like 30 countries.
30 countries, but those are the ones that people are highlighting the most.
The only one was Russia and North Korea.
That didn't get one.
Yeah.
Very ironic.
Very ironic, right? And today he had a meeting with Netanyahu that was supposed to be a press conference, but they canceled the press conference. All right? No one knows why. God bless. People wanted the press conference because people wanted to ask Trump about the tariffs and then maybe get Netanyahu's take on the tariff situation as well. Didn't happen. But we are here today with the tariffs, right? China implemented a response back with their tariff to America, which was, what, 34%?
Something like that, yeah.
Something about like 34%. And to put it in perspective, what's happening, guys, is when things come from these other countries, whether it's, the Dominican Republic, for example, has a tariff, right? I think it might be 10%. Any product that you get that says made in the Dominican Republic, now when it comes in, it comes out at the higher rate. They have to pay that tariff. Basically, for lack of better terms, like a tax, the extra tax.
Bro, plátanos, bro.
It's more expensive, right?
Yeah.
In the long term, the idea is for it to help the economy, especially America's economy, because people are going to focus more on American-made products, et cetera, et cetera. Short term, at the end of the day, when we have the price of eggs at the rate that they are, people only really give a fuck about short term. The average individual in this fucking world, in this country, day to day, you go out and talk to them, they only give a fuck about what's affecting their day, their child, their life.
Come on.
So this right now is obviously causing an uproar to the point that there was over 1 million people across the country marching, an anti-Trump march that also got into Rhode Island. We're going to talk about that later, but they were here in Providence, 10,000 people here in Providence. Nationwide, literally day after the tariff situation. All right. This is crazy, but there's no backtracking as of right now. I don't think there is going to be. Right? What's your take on everything happening with the tariffs, Noah?
Stay as short as I possibly can. Oh my God, my chest. I'm not for free trade the way that people are been pushing. I think everyone should be very cautious of supporting free trade. Studied economics. When I did my seminar, we talked about free trade a lot. The whole class was about globalization and free trade. Free trade comes at the expense of exploiting poor people.
What's free trade? Break it down for people who don't understand.
So free trade is basically where you're not charging tariffs. Because understand, the country's not paying for it. It's the people who are bringing in the product. So it's not that China's paying the tariff. No, they're not. Amazon's paying for it. So everything Amazon and Apple make in China is coming in with a tax on it when it gets to the docks, and then they're putting that cost onto you because they have to pay it when
they have to make up that money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So free trade basically says no tariffs, no restrictions. You could just put your product in whatever country. I've never been for it and moving companies overseas because at the end of the day, when it's done at a hyper rate, we're talking about exploitation of people, labor overseas. So people are getting paid less. That's why they're moving companies overseas and not keeping them here. You're also doing another thing where you're globalizing American culture. There's a reason why China is very restrictive on their societies because they don't want U.S. norms and values being pushed into their communities. And that happens a lot. A lot of indigenous societies get destroyed because of globalization. Because imagine you're chilling in a fucking tent in Africa and a nigga shows you an iPhone. Nigga, what the fuck? Like, that's a giant culture shock.
Yeah.
And it shifts a lot of these communities to become hyper consumers. Like, they're just buying everything up. They're very, like, YouTube-based, very media-based, and it fucks up their minds and it fucks up their cultures. And people lose, like, sight of their roots. So that's another reason why, I'm not a big free trade person. And then the last one is this. Yo, Trump isn't lying. Do you understand that right now we don't make a majority of our steel? So this is something China's been doing
We
for
don't make
years.
the majority of a lot of our shit.
A lot of our shit. But this is one of the most important ones. Bro, without steel, how do you build infrastructure? How do you build military tech? China has been deliberately destroying our steel market and trying to undermine it, so we have to get it overseas. Bro, if we go to war, we're fucked. There's no infrastructure projects. There's no military tech being made. The whole thing with Taiwan, like, that was a huge thing if you've been keeping up with the news, that China was going to invade Taiwan and the U.S. was getting involved. The reason why Biden was pressing that is because Taiwan is the biggest semiconductor market in the fucking world. Anyone that knows anything about computers and phones know without a semiconductor, or even cars, because they're all electronic now, you can't have these things. So the U.S. is too dependent on bringing stuff in to a point where it could be detrimental if we ever go to war. That's Trump's argument. And he's absolutely right in saying that. Now, the problem is this. My nigga, a 40% tariff? Bro, that's fucking crazy.
It's almost 50%, almost half.
Nigga, and he's saying if China doesn't, like, back off by tomorrow, he's raising their tariffs to 50%. That shit came out before I got here. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
He's crazy. And bro, like, the stock market crashed so bad, we're talking about $10 trillion worth of wealth lost.
Yeah.
And niggas are saying, oh, the Trump supporters, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. That's not true. We don't know what it's going to look like after everything's done. Trump could take off the tariffs tomorrow and the market can rebound and it might not even go back to where it was before. Yo, if you were planning to retire within the next 2 to 3 years or even the next year, good luck. Your wealth is gone. And that's real shit for real Americans. End of the day, bro, I see what he's trying to do, bring back foreign companies. I mean, the companies that are overseas that everyone lost, jobs that were in Michigan, Massachusetts. I think he's going about it the wrong way. I'm not a big free trade person. I'm not a big globalization person. But in the same breath, nigga, a 50% tariff?
It's insane.
Yo, I went to the hookah shop. Dumb niggas said it's up. The flavor's up $5.
Wow.
The coal's up $5. I looked at that nigga and I said, damn, the president's the reason why I'm going to live a long life because I'm quitting this hookah shit, brother. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I thought you quit. Why you went back?
I went back and then, yo, God
like
gave us
the fifth-
motherfucker
it's like
be
the fifth
lying,
time,
bro.
It's like the
Is
fifth
this
time.
like the fifth
He
time?
was
I be
itching, bro.
I be trying, but I've given up other things.
My God.
But listen, we are in big trouble. I'm not lying to you niggas right now. This is the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's just crazy, right?
Yo, it's actually very, as an economist, I'm warning you, don't waste your money crazy.
Yeah.
Save your bread, because he controls the tariffs.
Start growing shit in
Yeah.
your fucking backyard, bro.
Yeah, because like no bullshit, he has full control what happens next. I don't know if Congress can come in and intervene. I don't know how this works. Like I haven't.
This is crazy.
It's just crazy. I'm pretty sure he has executive control over tariffs under the constitution, like under the law right now. They'd have to probably pass a law to fix this, or I think it might be in the Constitution. He has control over this. I don't know. This is a very big problem.
Yeah, people are saying, and I agree. Right now, if you need to buy anything,
Do it
like
now.
car parts, expensive electronics, things that you need
Do it fucking
buy it now.
now.
Buy anything,
Now.
buy a car, anything that you really think that you were thinking about maybe buying at a later date, but you can afford it now. Buy it now because shit is gonna go up.
The car market is crazy.
It's fried.
Some of the companies. This is what I like to talk about. The car companies is crazy. If you're looking to buy a new car, probably don't fucking do it. The ones that are giving you kind of like deals and shit like that are American companies.
Really?
Ford being one of the specific ones. They're like, we're not gonna raise it. That's what they came out and said. They're like, we're not gonna raise it. We're gonna find a way where we can kind of bury that somewhere else to try to make up that money that we're paying for tariffs or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Other companies like GM and stuff like that, they haven't said anything yet. BMW and Mercedes, they said that they was gonna hold the pricing until a certain date in May. After that, the thing is going up.
Damn.
I forgot who it was. Actually moved a plant to Indiana or something like that. I don't know if it was like Honda or something. I think they said they moved the company over, so obviously they make the stuff here, so they don't have to worry about that. Yeah, that car stuff is crazy. But you know, if you're a reseller, maybe the used cars go up and you can start making money on that.
They do,
but
they have to.
that means that you're gonna be spending more money to buy them cars, fixing them. It's fucked.
And it's also, it reaches a point where when is this gonna be an actual recession, right? Because if shit gets expensive, people are gonna just stop buying, and if people stop buying things,
But that's the
things
thing,
stop
bro. It's
happening.
like they're doing this shit because they want you to buy more American product and shit like that. We barely make shit.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
barely do.
We barely make shit.
That's the point here. Is
Bro, they were talking, for example, the iPhones, they were talking about like, oh, the one that costs you maybe like $1,500 right now, $1,800. Technically, with these tariffs and shit like that, will be up to $3,000.
yeah,
Nintendo pushed back the Switch 2 pre-order release.
they
Yeah.
had to.
And now they're thinking about raising the price overall.
Nigga, it's already at $550. It's more than a fucking PS5.
Well,
it's as strong
the
as a PS4.
original price was $450, and if with the game, it was $500. And now it's probably going to go up. I'm gonna
This
just
is
go, I'm gonna just
crazy.
go to
We got
Japan to buy it.
Nintendo-
I'm gonna go buy it at Japan.
Nintendo-
In Japan, it's $300.
And like,
Fuck.
and I do want the fans to understand something. There's a play here. There's a very funny play. In reality, this ain't got nothing to do with the world. It's the U.S. and China. But he decided to do a very blanket thing because the other countries are like, yo, we can talk. You don't got to do all this. The other countries are like, yo, we can
That's
have
what
a
the Dominican Republic president said. He was like, we're gonna meet with him and talk about this because we can fix this. He's like, well, okay.
A lot of countries can. A lot of the Europeans can meet with him. It's the Chinese that are the problem here. The Chinese are like, no, I'm not folding here. I'm not giving you leverage. So this is what this comes down to. Whose economy can last longer in this fight?
Yeah.
That's the battle here now.
Jesus Christ.
So
Pretty much who's gonna bend over first.
Exactly.
Who got the bigger balls?
That's it. Because China, majority of their shit
But
is
at the end of the
export.
day, we're the one that suffer.
Yes. Because China's majority export, US is majority import. We are consumers, they are developers.
Yeah.
Yup.
So it all boils down to whose economy can handle it first and whose government's gonna make the president of whatever country fold first.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Nigga, China's a dictatorship. Bro, there was a whole journalist who got arrested. He's still in jail for comparing the president to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He said he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
I remember that.
Is Speed still in China? He better come
Yeah.
back.
Who?
Speed? Is Speed
I
still in
think
China?
he's still in China, yeah.
He gotta come back
He gotta
now.
get the fuck out of there.
He
Bro,
might be the one to change this though.
Speed is the one that ends the conflict.
Maybe.
Oh my God. Bro, Jinping is never gonna fold. He has them niggas under a ball sack, bro. Them niggas would never revolt, bro. The Chinese are not revolted against this nigga. Yo, the Communist Party of China is not folded, bro. We're fucked.
Nah.
We have to fold. That's what's gonna happen here.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Regardless,
I mean,
we're fucked.
on paper, like, if you just be like, okay, you want to embrace things made in USA, why is everything got to be made in China? It's like a question that might be logical, right? Like, oh, why is everything made in China, right? So it's like, okay.
Cheap labor.
But to go about it this way,
Tax avoiding.
it's something that it just seems very like, whoa. Especially right away. Bro, it's been, what, 2 months that he's been in office?
You know, he's crazy.
This is crazy, bro.
Because Biden had tariffs and he was using it to bring companies back, but he's doing it slowly. This
Oh
is the most
my
extreme thing I ever
God.
seen, Vic. This is like unprecedented taxation.
That's why there was 1 million people marching.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro has called it out. That nigga who owns Barstool Sports was calling it
Dave
out.
Portnoy today.
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy said it. He said he lost 20 million.
Aiden Ross
He
was,
was
talking
stressed
about
the
it.
fuck out.
Aiden Ross said he lost 10 mil with academics. He was pissed off about it. And during their stream, it's bad, bro. Everyone's losing money. The billionaire class, of the billionaires in the US, oh no, I think it was in general, the top like 100 billionaires lost $500 billion in wealth in 2 days. It is the biggest loss of wealth that we've seen in like 30, 40
It's
years.
crazy.
Shout out to
It's
my
crazy.
boy Ant that's tuned in. You know what I'm saying? Everest on the body, Rhode Island on the body. I'm so Rhode Island. I wear the fucking Rhode Island clothes on
Yes.
my body. I've been wearing this shit for 2 days straight.
Nah,
The same
that
outfit.
shit's comfortable as
bro.
fuck.
That's just hard.
That
Yes,
shit was
sir.
hard.
That's just hard. Send
Shout out
an
to
XL
Ant.
my way.
Yes, sir.
Shit's hard.
Yeah, send an XL for Marlon. Marlon got, if you got an XL for Marlon, get him right.
I would like a lot.
What you saying? Chat saying something? I thought you about to read the
Oh
chat.
no! Someone said earlier, like way earlier. They're like, "Yo, tell Vic to take off the snowflakes. I'm tired of his winter shit."
Listen, don't get me wrong. I've been suffering from winter depression. Seasonal depression. I do want it to be
Bro,
hot.
we get one good day and then we get smacked with 4 or 5 shitty ones.
This morning was like 38. You know what I'm saying?
Raining.
So we still
Windy.
winter. We still in winter, even though it's fake spring.
I got you, bro. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up on IG.
Yes, sir. Shout out to our brother Ant Everest in the body. But this Trump shit is crazy. When I saw when you sent me that Elon shit, I thought it was like AI. I'm like, Elon Musk is talking about, going against Trump. He did it in his own way, right? Politically correct. He wasn't like airing Trump out or going off on Trump, but he was like, yes, we need to move to. I've been advising the president that we need to move to no tariffs, basically you can tell inside he was upset because this is affecting everything. It's obviously affecting Tesla. It's affecting all these companies that he himself is connected with, and to the point that you have someone like Dave Portnoy who's very opinionated. He says shit straight up, and he's complaining about his net worth being affected. You got multi-millionaires, billionaires online complaining.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, okay.
Mark
but it's
Cuban
like
was going crazy
My
too.
thing is this, Mark Cuban, but Trump said he was going to do this. And then people what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't expect him to go this heavy with it. That's the thing, right?
Vic, this is the biggest tax of wealth.
Of all time.
I think of all time, yes. Ben Shapiro said it. I usually don't listen to him, but I think he was right. I think an economist doubled down on it. He's like, yeah, we've never seen someone get taxed like this. Like we've never seen the U.S. impose a tax to this rate.
To this level.
Mind you,
My God.
And it's so funny because his explanation for it sounds so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make $1 trillion off trade surplus.
Oh no, look, I'll read a tweet right now.
Like what, nigga?
Trump tweeted today.
We lost $10 trillion in wealth, and your justification is $1 trillion in trade. This nigga's on coke.
Yo,
This
Trump's
nigga.
on that Trump dust. He said today, oil prices are down. This is Trump. Oil prices are down. Interest rates are down. The slow-moving Fed should cut rates. Food prices are down. There's no inflation. The long-time abuse the USA is bringing in billions of dollars a week from the abusing countries on tariffs that are already in place. This is despite the fact that the biggest abuser of them all, China, but you're right. He's highlighting China. So it's he says the biggest abuser of them all, China, whose markets are crashing, just raised its tariffs to 34%. On top of his long-term, ridiculously high tariffs, plus and not acknowledging my warning for abusing countries not to retaliate. They've made enough for decades, taking advantages of the good old USA. Our past leaders, in quotations, are to blame for allowing this and so much else to happen to our country. Make America great again. That was Donald Trump today, literally a day after. Not a day after, but a Monday response to what's happening during the weekend with everything with the tariffs and the backlash he's receiving. But in the responses, everyone's calling him out, saying that the crypto's down, everything else is down, that he's lying. This is going to start affecting everything, I feel like, more. What do you think, in the next week or next month? When are we going to actually see this? What would be an actual...
I'll believe that shit when I
timeline.
see fucking gas being cheaper.
What's the actual timeline for us to see, when we go to grocery stores to see bread and
Bro,
this stuff up?
Bro, they changed the hookah prices this week. It's whenever the next shipment comes in because that's when the tax gets imposed. So though, I guess the next hookah.
This man is hurting, bro.
Nigga, I'm fucking hurting right now. Here's the thing. So
This is God, bro.
This is God. This is God. He wanted me to stop. There's a wild card in this situation no one's talking about. And only one person is, and it's Trump. Because this is what he's hoping for. So I'm gonna explain this as simply as I possibly can. The Federal Reserve is the central bank of the US. They set interest rates. That means when you walk into a bank and you get a loan, there's an interest rate on it, and that interest rate was set basically by the Fed. The head of the Fed
At banks.
for banks, yeah.
Yes.
For commercial banks.
Yes.
So Bank of America, all this shit.
Yeah, don't get it twisted with let's say a car loan if you go specifically through a dealership or whatever, because they be adding to that.
Yeah, but the minimum standard
Yes.
is set by the Federal Reserve. That's the best way I can explain that. The Fed is run by a guy named Powell.
Mm-hmm.
Trump has been on his ass for the last 3 weeks because Powell, he is independent from politics. The law says that the Federal Reserve, they have two jobs, keep inflation low and keep unemployment low. So they can't be political. No one can affect them politically. So basically, Trump has been trying to get Powell to lower the interest rates because when you lower the interest rates, people take on more loans. People invest more.
Yeah.
Because it's lower interest. The thing is, when you do that, the economy starts heating up, and it's too much growth, and that can lead to a recession. So, and it can lead to inflation. So Powell has been saying, yo, we've been dealing with inflation for so long. The best way to reduce inflation, as we understand it, is you increase interest rates because that causes for less money to go into the market and it causes less investment. So Trump is saying, fuck your plan. I don't care that inflation is high. I need you to lower the rates because if you lower the rates, then the companies can take out loans and they'll use those loans to cover whatever losses they're taking on the tariffs.
Yeah.
So if they use those loans to cover the losses on a low interest rate, then they won't shift that cost onto the consumer. You get the plan?
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, Powell's like, eat mad dick, nigga. No, I don't trust you. You have been a stick in my ass since I got here, since you elected me in, which he did elect him in. And he's basically saying is, what you want me to do is help you destroy the American economy.
Yeah.
Because if I lower interest rates and there's a recession going on, if we actually get an even worse recession, the problem with an interest rate is, bro, it can only go so low before it turns negative. And now you're losing money on a loan. Mm-hmm. And at that point, interest rates can't be used to stimulate the economy. So he's like, we got to keep it at this level. It's a very complicated situation, but you have to look out for that. What does Powell do next? If you are interested in this, that is the major decision. That's what Trump's hoping for.
Hashtag what does Powell do next?
That's literally what this is centered around, is what the Federal Reserve is about to do. And I promise you, Powell's going to tell him to eat mad dick. Yeah, nigga, if Powell does that, I give us until June, we're in a massive recession. Because there is no loans to cover losses at that point.
Listen, we might all be riding around this bitch in bikes like J. Cole. Literally. We're
No, literally.
We're going to be in chancletas and bikes
if
like
so,
J. Cole.
They gon' let me for my ambition.
And that was a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition podcast, Cap. If you're looking to watch the full episode, make sure to go check it out right now. It's available on audio and also on YouTube.